We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning and welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak, sponsored by Renaissance Bank. Today is Tuesday, August 14th, and I'm your host, Elizabeth Walters. We're going to take a look at today's top news and sports stories across Northeast Mississippi, but first, a look at your weather forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies with a high of 93 and a low of 72. And over the next 3 days, on Wednesday, we'll have sunny skies with a high of 96 and a low of 73. Thursday, a 40% chance of thunderstorms with a high of 93 and a low of 73. And on Friday, a 60% chance of storms with a high around 90 and a low of 73. Now let's look at today's top headlines. The proposed construction of a turn lane on Envel Road is up for discussion again. During a work session on Monday, the City Council heard the results of a traffic study and analysis performed on Envel Road by City Engineer John Crawley. The hope is to alleviate congestion around TCPS, but Crawley's study found few safety concerns along the corridor. Instead, the traffic history found most accidents occur near the intersection with McCullough Boulevard, but the analysis did find the traffic flow on the eastern side of Envel Road is poor. Mayor Jason Shelton remains opposed to the project, saying since no safety problems exist, this is, quote, a pet project for a private entity where there's no safety concern. It's just pure politics, end quote. Crawley proposed two options for the council to consider: construction of a right-hand turn lane into TCPS from Envel Road and the construction of a center turn lane allowing for left-hand turns into TCPS. Shelton suggested the council instead look to alleviate traffic backups around the public schools, while Ward 1 Councilman Markel Whittington said they are elected to help the concerns of the general population of the city and that he's not pursuing the project as a political favor. TCPS falls under Whittington's district. A vote to approve an Envel Road turn lane could occur as early as next week, though no money would be appropriated until the 2020 budget is approved next year. And with close to 500 county-owned bridges across the state closed, many counties cannot afford repairs to reopen them. Our media partner Mississippi Today spoke with officials from several counties, including Jasper, that currently has 10 bridges closed, Marion, where 11 are closed, and Bolivar, where 17 are closed. Governor Bryant ordered the state transportation department to close nearly 100 bridges in April in wake of a federal inspection that determined hundreds of the state's timber pile bridges were unsafe for travel and had not been properly inspected in years. While legislative leaders are discussing how or if to offer financial relief, county officials are facing a deadline to finalize their budgets for the next fiscal year that begins in October. Governor Bryant has suggested a possible special session this month to find new revenue for counties, but a proposal has not panned out yet. And you can read more about this at djournal.com. And a program in Tupelo is helping pair wounded warriors with dogs. We spotlight Darius and Lisa Wells, who donated their German Shepherd, Quincy, to the K9 Training Center in Tupelo, where he was paired with U.S. Air Force veteran Paul Gregg. Greg served during the first Gulf War and drove from Florida to bond with his new dog. Greg was exposed to at least 27 different nerve agents and has chronic pain and nerve damage. Because of PTSD, he has nightmares and shies away from crowds, but he said the time he spent with Quincy has already helped with his symptoms. Steve and Marianne Schaefer purchased the K9 Training Center last November and wanted to give back and train service dogs for veterans. And Quincy will not be their last, as they currently have another German Shepherd they're training. Greg will take Quincy as he travels around raising awareness for PTSD and the suicide rate among veterans. And in sports, Tiara McCowan posted her second straight double-double as Mississippi State defeated the German professional team TK Hannover 72-49 on Monday in Florence, Italy. McCowan finished with 23 points and 14 rebounds, and she scored 19 of those points in the first half. Chloe Bibby finished with 13 points, and head coach Vic Schaefer said it was a very physical game and some were up to the challenge, but they have a long way to go with the young depth. Prior to Monday's game, the Bulldogs toured historic Florence and is now heading to Venice, and their final game of the tour will be on Thursday against International Select. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Tuesday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings courtesy of the Daily Journal that gets you news off the page and on the go. Each story discussed today on Newsbreak can be found in your Daily Journal or online at djournal.com, where you can also find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Walters. Have a great afternoon.